it seems to me that this is the most important topic from this conference. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome. Here we are fully equipped for discussing how to earn, how to monetize products, and how to increase the number of paying users to your products. You're welcome here with us, guru of this Alvaro please.
Hello.
Alvaro is Business Development Director of Pangle. And Ogulcan, Tufan, Digital Tribune, Sales Director. How can I offer you to hold this panel discussion? We will start with the Q&A session. I will ask questions to our speakers, and after we will discuss all the questions that I have prepared. There will be a Q&A session with the audience. So if you want to ask something, feel free to ask, and we will ask our speakers, and they will share with you some insight on the sphere. If you don't mind, we will start.
Sure.
The first question is about the K-trends of the sphere. Yeah? Can K-trends in the casual gaming industry that impact monetization and user acquisition strategies? Alvaro, could you please tell us about the K-trends? What K-trends you define for sustainable growth of hyper-casual games?
Well, I think a key topic right now, and actually there's been a talk about it, it's hybrid casual, I think.
Not hyper-casual, sorry, casual games growth,
yeah. Like the model, adding more features to games that were meant to be just hyper-casual and moving into casual. I definitely think it's something going on. I do think that ads, it's something that more games that are purely in a purchase base are also trying. They're finding new ways to monetize. Also, you know, given the current economy situation of the world, they definitely need to try new things to grab every penny from the users. So I think ads of every shape and form are also a growing trend into casual. And I think also in terms of advertising, I feel like from the UA side, more non-gaming is stepping into the gaming, especially casual gaming, both UA on the monetization side, the impact, which is kind of helping because it's breaking this loop of UA gaming, UA into gaming, and so on and so on. There's fresh money coming from other industries into gaming. I feel like more and more brands are starting to rely on gaming as a reliable source for UA, and it's kind of starting to make an impact also on the monetization, on the ad space monetization of games.
Do you want to?
Yeah, I can add a few stuff. You said like, what are the key trends you're seeing with casual games? From what I see, I mean, when you say casual games, like actually. It's a huge vertical, and there are a lot of subgenres under casual games. And I started to see, like, okay, in the beginning, we're also seeing there are a lot of match-3 games, match-3 puzzle kind of games. But now, over the last few years, we have started to see an emerge of merge type of subcategory. And very recently, I started to see a lot of tile matching kind of casual games. And also we're seeing these games have started to implement ads into their game, because like typically a casual game is, the difference from hyper casual is that they monetize mostly in-app purchase, but they have started to adapt like rewarded video kind of ad placements, and even monetizing their user base through offer walls as well. Like they're using the power of offer walls. They have started to implement offer walls into their games, and so this is how they're also becoming and entering, stepping into the top grossing charts.
In other words, it seems to me that we are gonna delve into details about how can game developers strike a balance between monetization and providing a great user experience in casual games. How to not overwhelm players. Alvaro.
Can I?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I think it's very obvious about A/B testing and A/B testing. You need to really understand your users, how much they can take ads wise. Also, I feel like, especially on casual, as we mentioned, it's meant to, or at least it used to be very in-app purchase based, and a lot of people do not consider ads when it comes to the product itself. So I think it's always good to have a backup plan. What if you actually have to have ads and not integrate ads as a second stage, but more like considering it as a possibility from the very beginning, because that will help, make it more user-friendly. It won't be that disruptive, and then the engagement, the retention also will be impacted because the users will enjoy the experience with the ads in the game. And it will also obviously impact the overall revenue afterwards too.
Ogulcan, maybe you can add something?
Yeah, you're definitely right.
Thank you.
I'm not a game developer, but as a experienced person in the market and as a service provider and also a mobile game player on a day-to-day basis, I can say that you can implement ads into game in such a way that it becomes it becomes maybe the part of the game design and makes you enter the game, come back to the game over and over again, and suddenly who hates an advertisement person becomes a person who watches 50 rewarded ads just to progress in the game, and at the same time not to overwhelm people but also not to cannibalize in-app purchases. Maybe like you have to implement the ads in such a way that the user is just watching 30 rewarded videos on a daily basis, but maybe you're missing that person's in-app purchase if you do. But so you have to keep the balance in a very right way so that you are kind of giving a taste of that premium content inside the game, so that maybe the user is being incentivized to do the actual purchase in the game.
No, I completely agree. I think that it's important also to set the timing for the ad. It doesn't have to be straight away showing the ad to the users. You can just wait and give a time on the session to understand whether this user is going to go for the pay or just hold it until the ad comes.
I want to add that nowadays it's important to create senses, because we need to create the right attitude to the advertising. Yeah, that's why it's important to analyze what you're doing and to be careful to overwhelm users. So the next question will be about examples, maybe. Could you share some examples of innovative monetization methods that have worked well without compromising player satisfaction? Maybe Ogulcan, you can add something.
As I said, I'm not a developer. I don't come from a gaming studio, but I can give you an example. There's a monetization method called...
Sorry for interrupting, but sure. You will be from the customer side, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I tend to play my clients' games every day on a daily basis. For example, in a match 3 example, there's a method called piggy bank. Maybe you guys have heard before. So you collect. It's basically like you collect a virtual currency by doing some tasks inside the game, but at the same time on site, those. The same amount of that currency is being collected in a piggy bank, and then when you fill for example, the whole box, the game gives you an option to purchase those coins inside, but in a limited time frame. So it's like you work your ass off to get those coins, but at the same time the game is offering that to you with in-app purchases and gives you a sense of urgency with like time. It's like, this is a limited offer for 2 days. So actually I got kind of tricked into that and did that in-app purchase in a game. So it works. It works actually. The piggy bank system. Note that down.
Thank you. What about you, Alvaro?
Very good one.
Can you please?
My example is going to be more on a strategic / business perspective. I'm going to be talking about one of my partners, Top Nation. They have designed, well, they started with you probably guys have heard of it, the in-game ads, which is meant to be a placement that doesn't disrupt the total experience, where brands can just, they tried it and by one of these service providers, and it did not pay off that much, but they did like the idea, so they did design their own in-house, in-game kind of native placements. And that is giving them space to first test native from traditional networks, but also pitching directly to brands. So they can actually bring in first-hand budgets, which it's a good backup and also balances out the traditional ad revenue from the networks, yeah.
Thank you. Do you want to add something?
No,
I want to pay attention to the quality of game design, because it's a really important part, and the question is how the game design impact on the user acquisition and impact how can you value it?
Yeah.
Maybe you.
What I understand from game design is actually like not like the design how the game looks, but what I understand particularly is that what is the core loop of the game. Like for example, I'll give an answer. For example, Dream Games Royal Match. It's just you're matching 3 cubes into together and they blast and tada, you complete the task. But why is Royal Matches earning a lot of money? It's in the top 3 grossing gaps and generating millions of dollars on a monthly basis, because they are implementing really good game design in it. For example, I'll just give you a very small example, and the game is full of these kind of examples. There's a lava quest inside the game. So when you enter the lava quest, you have to get your internet connected because we are competing with other players, and you have to complete every task without doing any mistakes. So if you make a mistake, even if you're in the last stage of the lava quest, you get eliminated and you lose all your coins. So what it does is that from time to time during the day, it keeps you, urges you to get back into the game and also not do mistakes, because otherwise you will fall into the lava. So let's say that you fail, and if you fail in a non-lava quest, you just quit the game and say, okay, I'll play it later. But if you're in a lava quest, it again motivates you to do an in-app purchase, because you cannot fall into the lava. It gives that kind of so that game design, that core loop, keeps you inside the game all the time. So that's my example.
Maybe Alvaro, could you please add something? Thank you.
I completely 100% agree with him. I think it's important to understand the experience per session and to bring them back in. On top of that, I would say on a more broader scale, I think it's important to count on your design changes and adapt to seasonality, adapting, from design to the ASO in terms of festivities like Christmas, Halloween, Easter, things that might call the user attention and bring them back in, create special in-game events for that, special offers, especially now with the e-commerce season coming up, where both the user gets, the urge of spending has to be, can be on Amazon, but also can be in your games, and also Amazon and advertising in these games, eCPMs and the overall ad revenue come up. So it's important to keep the momentum and bring the users back to make sure that, you grab as much as possible from it.
Got it. Got it. So, regarding these tragedies, yeah, how can game developers effectively use free-to-play models and still generate sustainable revenue over time? Ogulcan, could you please
Sure.
tell the
I mean,
audience
there are a
some
lot.
insights?
There are a lot of free-to-play models there, but maybe I can emphasize on using them and getting the most out of offer walls. I think like in some part of the gaming industry or like in some part of the gaming verticals, offer walls are being either misunderstood or not like utilized as the most. You know, offer wall is actually an app marketing. Is a marketplace that you get offers listed in there. It's a value exchange platform that you can publishers can open an offer wall inside their game and offer some virtual premium content inside their game, and basically publishers can use offer walls to monetize their non-paying users. I mean, because like not, I mean, how do you say, like 95% of users in an average mobile game, they don't pay at all. So how do you monetize them? You throw ads in front of them. Some of them will be intrusive. Some of them will just be churned. Will just get your low retention. But offer walls could, I mean, if they're not paying for the premium content, maybe they can complete some tasks within other apps, and still enjoy the game with the premium content inside the game, but at the same time stay in the game without paying and generating some revenue for the publisher. And at the same time, on the advertiser side, why advertisers are putting their offers inside those there. Something that the publisher's user base is just going to complete my task and then leave my app. But if you're trusting your game, if you're building a good setup inside your offer wall campaigns, you will get those users familiar with your game, and all of a sudden, next time they're coming back to your game, they come for good, not for completing a task. So maybe I want to emphasize on offer walls.
Thank you. And could you please, maybe you want to add something to this point?
I just slightly think more. I think also it's important to, from the UA perspective, this time we're going to switch roles. It's important to set, ad revenue optimization targets towards your UA. Actually, does that. We can do value-based optimization based on ad revenue. We can track, set a target ROAS goal from up to day 7. And if advertisers can track real-time ad revenue, we can optimize towards that. So it's a safe way to be more efficient towards targeting the users that are actually going to engage with offer walls or any other sort of ad that you have placed in your games. Yeah.
Thank you. And it seems to me that yourself have a question. Yeah.
I just have a question to that. Do you only run with gamers or gaming companies, or can it be also other apps as well?
Any.
Yeah.
I'll come to you later.
Okay. It seems to me that it's time to share some cases regarding monetization, yeah, and to share with maybe what tools can game developers use to monetize their products. Alvaro, could you please tell us more about this, because you're a profi.
So, obviously we know the ABC of the ad formats for mobile. I'm not going to go counting them all. Two of them that I feel are making a slightly more impact these days from what I'm seeing under my experience are app open ads. Some of you might be like, oh, on your face, like in your face kind of ad, but they can be fully skippable. They have very short length, and apps like TikTok are making users very familiar with this type of ad because they use it a lot. So they're getting more used to it, and it's not impacting that much the engagement and the retention. And also, I would say native, but done in the right way. Maybe including ads on the menu of the game or any other sort of, as I explained before, inside of the full user experience. That could work, yeah.
Thank you. Maybe you want to add something?
Yeah, maybe I can approach the question from the UA side of things. Like,
yeah.
so like, I will also like talk about some attribution models. So we have to measure our channels very effectively so that we can make good decisions which supply source to invest and which supply source not to invest that much. So, for example, as Digital Turbine, who is offering on-device placements, preload solutions to app marketers, we partnered with AppsFlyer to build a preload tracking solution, because preloads are attributed in a different way than other like in-app inventory. So it's basically we have opened a small button inside the AppsFlyer. It's called like it says preload attribution. If you open it, if you don't open it, it's just it's attributed defaultly. But if you open it as the advertiser when you integrate with Digital Turbine, it just gives preloads priority over clicks, so that when we preload an application inside an Android device, Digital Turbine gets the priority, because I mean we think that getting the app inside there is like kind of like is the first step into the device, and with a longer look back window. So what does this preload attribution does? As I said, it gives us priority over other sources, but at the same time, it really increases the right and correct way of doing preload attribution. And what we have seen over this year actually, that among our gaming clients, like all of them, like the ROAS goals, we hit like 20%, 25% increased before like non-preload attribution solutions. So I just wanted to give an example on that.
Thank you. So market activities like user acquisition and looking for monetization, advertisers can face with the negative feedback from users. Yeah, and the question is that advertisers should handle with this. And maybe you can share with us some insight how to maintain a positive community to the product. Maybe Alvaro, you can.
Okay. I mean, first of all, you need to understand whether it's an isolated case where a user, there's always these users that complain like, I don't want any ads in my game, but they don't want to pay anything. They need to understand that. App developers have to make some money somehow. But if you see that it's a repetitive case, then it's important to pay attention, answer to the complaints, be apologetic, and then understand how to fix it. As I said before, I think A/B testing is very important, and checking whether there's another solution to tackle it, another placement, another format. Maybe it's the frequency, maybe it's the kind of ads, and you need to filter the right categories to be showing in your game. There's a lot of things that could be impacting the experience, but listening to the user is always important.
Listening and to analyze the feedback of users, it's important to understand it, to be native in promotion, and to be successful in this field. So maybe Ogulcan, you want to add something?
Yeah, from a service provider chair, I can say that like over the years I've worked with a lot of advertisers and ran their UA campaigns on like in-app inventory publishers, and what I've seen mostly is that maybe misleading ads, like it's for example there are type of misleading ads. It shows kind of a game, but when you enter the game it's not that. There are some really good practices, by the way, like there are some masters of misleading ads in the industry. They're doing it in such a way that they're becoming like one of the top grossing apps out there. But if everyone does that, so it creates some speculations in the market. Other than that, maybe another super quick offer wall example. Offer wall is a value exchange platform, and when the user completes a task and expects, for example, 50 coins from a game, and if doesn't get that, probably there's an integration problem there, and then that person comes and writes under Google Play Store or App Store, like gives 1 star to the game and said, "Hey, where's my premium currencies?" Stuff like that. So maybe that should be something to manage. And yeah.
Got it. Thank you. So, in a rapidly changing world, it's important to be on the wave, yeah? And how do you stay on the wave? How do you get the information, the insight, the latest trends of the field? How do you stay connected? How do you stay? How do you be? How do you? What sources do you read? Could you please share with the audience the insights?
Well, first of all, I watched the recordings of these events, panels and solo speeches. I watched the recordings on YouTube, so thanks for uploading them. And other than that, I'm a big fan of the Constructor of Fun blog, both blog and also the YouTube channel. I think they're like analyzing and like looking at overseeing everything going on in the gaming industry very well. So I would recommend definitely the Constructor of Fun, and also like following all the news on a daily basis from Pocket Gamer, right? PocketGamer.biz. So
yeah, maybe Alvaro, do you want to add something?
Probably say the same, and also the guys from 2.5 Games that were here before.
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
And regarding the future, yeah, how do you see the future of monetization and UA in casual games, and what maybe emerging technologies or trends should developers be prepared for, Alvaro? What do you think about it?
I feel like the decision making is gonna become more granular and more quick thanks to AI. I think like AI is going to start impacting every step of the game, from the design to A/B testing, data analysis, ads targeting, UA. I think everything's gonna get started more impacted towards AI. That's probably gonna be the short to mid term. And then who knows? Maybe new ad formats that might come up.
And I believe like one of the biggest opportunities for developers and users I think will be like the rise of the alternative app stores over the next few years, because I mean it's getting harder and harder to get visibility, especially in Google Play Store. There are like more than 3.5 million apps inside there. So the alternative app stores, I think is the future. And actually, as Digital Turbine, we have also released our alternative app store earlier this year, and we are continually deploying into net new devices through our carrier and telco partners. And another pain point I've been hearing today in this event is that like people don't wanna be, how do you say, relied on one single store out there, and also like pay 30% tax to the giants right now. So alternative app store can only bring you more visibility, more, how do you say, catered user experience, and also better economics for your game.
Thank you so much, guys. We are trying to finalize, and I think that it's really important to pay attention for a strategy like a global category, yeah, and accept performance marketing. One of the parts of the strategy should be in influencer marketing too, because it seems to me, from my side, yeah, that it's important to pay attention to the influencers, because we are talking much about the community, about the importance of the community, yeah, and influencer marketing helps developers to reach the community and to get the relevant users, paying users, and so on. So maybe you guys want to add something. We have 3 minutes left, and we should be in timing. And then we're gonna ask the audience. Maybe they want to ask something.
Maybe super quick about like maybe influencer marketing. I'm obviously not the specialist. I'm not an expert about that, but you know, it really affects influencer marketing. Really affects consumer behavior. For example, I mean, when I'm gonna buy an electronics device, I mean, first thing I do is enter YouTube and follow some influencers and watch their reviews on that. That is how I make a purchase decision, and nothing more.
You should believe. You should believe. So maybe Alvaro.
I just support both of your opinions, so I cannot add much more than that.
Okay. So maybe someone have questions to our speakers. Maybe we haven't time to discuss really important parts of this topic. Maybe Yusuf, you have one more question? No. Okay.
I'll just talk with them after.
You're going to talk with him after, yeah?
We have
it's a kind of a kind of a lead generation, you know.
He said we have half an hour, so okay, let's half an hour more.
Do you guys have a minimum spend for your app? I mean, to run on your platform?
I can connect you to my UA team to discuss that. Yeah, absolutely.
So, any questions? Please, don't be shy. There are no questions. We were pretty much exhausting, you know. So we finished. Yeah, maybe you want to Ogulcan tell something interesting to our audience, because it seems to me that's a really important part of the panel discussion, the opportunity to communicate with the audience.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for listening, guys. I'll be around here for a few more hours. Unfortunately, I'm skipping tomorrow, but I mean, if you're interested in alternative app stores and if you want to hear more about how to, you know, utilize some on-device placements for your game, I mean, come to me and I'll tell you everything about it.
Thank you so much.